everybody, Martika here with Martika J Makes. And today's video is going to be a little different. We're gonna step away from sewing for a minute because this video has been highly requested. Answers to this question has been highly requested, not just by some of you all, but some friends and family and just different people all around that I know and don't know, but have heard my testimony. So I am going to tell you today how I changed my diet. And many of you know my story if you've been following me for a while. If you don't, my testimony is up on this page. If you go back and you will see my health experience with diabetes, basically. So just in short form, before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that yes, if you don't know, I was diagnosed with diabetes back in June, and I was hospitalized because I also had ketoacidosis, which can be fatal if it is not caught. And I was caught, when I tell you in the nick of time, I was caught in the nick of time. And I was diagnosed with diabetes for the very first time in my life. Had not had any history of it or anything like that. It was one of those things that was an immediate scare. And it had me in the hospital for 4 days before my blood sugar could come under control enough for me to go home and for me to continue doing what I needed to do to get it under control. So if you are just now joining my channel for the first time, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you are coming back, especially to hear how I changed my diet, welcome. And here it is, okay? So you guys, I have like a whole page of notes over here. So you're going to see me looking over here because I did not want to forget anything because you all have been asking. So first, I want to tell you guys that a little bit of the success that I have had. And number one, I am down 27 pounds. If you've experienced diabetes, if you're living with it, or if you have a loved one that is living with it or have lived with it before, you know that weight loss is a big, big deal. And it's not that I was just, out of control, but I did need to get some weight off because I should not have been the weight that I was, okay? So I am down 27 pounds, and this started at the beginning of June, okay? And my blood sugar was out of control. When I was hospitalized, my blood sugar was 769. I believe that was it, 769. And now my blood sugar, it is now completely under control. I do check it once a day, usually every morning, and it usually sits in between like 80, in the 80s, 90s. If it's in the hundreds, it's like low hundreds, maybe like 102, 106, something like that. And that's normally if I ate dinner a little bit later. My A1C at that time was 12.7. Yeah. Basically, I should have been in a coma or I should have been in a morgue. But thank God I am here, and I am here to tell my story and to maybe help someone else. I really hope so. And now my blood sugar, you guys, my A1C, as of December at my last checkup with my doctor, is 5.6. So I was able to get that down. That was between June and December. Don't let anybody tell you that it can't be done. When you make up your mind to do it, you can do it, okay? I'm here to tell you if nobody else does. So that was that. Now I meet with my family physician every 3 months, and I'm fine with that because that gives us a chance to check my A1C, because you can only check it every 3 months, and that measures the last 90 days of how much sugar you've intook, okay? So that A1C is very important. So every 3 months I see him. I was seeing my endocrinologist every 3 months, but at my last visit with her, she told me, there's no need for you to come in here every 3 months because you are totally under control. So let's go ahead and do this every 6 months because literally we're running out. We don't have nothing to talk about. Okay. So I see her every 6 months. Now, I am still, because of the ketoacidosis, yes, I am on what's called metformin. And that is not so much to control diabetes, but that is for my liver, to help my liver not overproduce sugar for my body. And we are slowly, she told me just straight up, it's going to take some time for me to get you completely off that if we can. So I believe that we can, and I believe that we can. And I started out, you guys, taking 4 a day. All right. I am now taking 2 a day. So that has been completely cut in half. And that's been by a few months now. I can't even remember exactly what month we cut it in half, but it's cut in half, completely under control. So I'm looking forward to that being cut down some more when I see her this spring. So let's talk about how I changed it. You guys, first of all, I'm going to tell you, and you probably hear this, like you hear this with working out and everything that you want to change in your life. It starts with the mindset, okay? You have to make up right here first to do it and to know why you're doing it, okay? Not just to say, oh, I'm going to change my diet and this and that. You'll never stick to it. You have to have that solid reason why. For me, it was do it or die. Okay. So that was my option. Do it or die. And I took that very, very seriously. So if yours is you want the will to live, just to be here for your family, to be here for your friends, to be able to do more things that you want to do in life, you guys, you got to change it right here. This is where it starts, okay? Not with what you put in your mouth, but right here, okay? I'm very serious about that. So the next thing I did, I was given by my endocrinologist, basically, of course, a chart of a balanced meal. And a balanced meal for me and for basically anyone who's diabetic consists of reading labels. Okay, you have to be a label reader to know how many carbohydrates is in something and to know if there is any added sugar in it. And if there is, how much, okay? Just because there is added sugar, because there is in a lot of things that we eat nowadays. I mean, America is just known for it, putting sugar in just about everything. You just have to kind of pick your battles and know what's good and what's not. Weighing food, I had to weigh certain things. I had to measure certain things. And I'm going to give you an example of that. I had to do that until I could eye it. And basically, when you get used to weighing and seeing the size of things or seeing how much, when you measure it, you begin to eye it, especially like if you're a cook, how much a tablespoon is or a teaspoon of this or a half a teaspoon of that. You can kind of eye it and know what it is. So that's what I did. I took it very seriously and I weighed and I measured. So my balanced diet was like 3 to 4 ounces of protein, a half a cup of complex carbs. And you can find lists of complex carbs like on Google. This is like your peas or your potatoes, sweet potatoes, your rice, your complex carbs, not things with sugar added, but things that have that natural sugar already in it. And so a half a cup of that with my meals. 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables. And this was like, your greens, or your cabbage, or you can find lists of non-starchy vegetables on Google. Also, Google is my friend. It was, and it still is my friend. If I'm not sure about something, I go in there and I type, is cabbage a non-starchy vegetable, or is carrots a starchy vegetable or a carbohydrate? You just go in there and Google your question. And fruit, which is another basically a complex carb. But let me tell you guys something, because I know that there are a lot of people who may have been diagnosed with diabetes and just pretty much going like to your family physician, never have seen an endocrinologist, never may have been recommended to see an endocrinologist. So you're getting like that basic line of what you need to do. There is a difference, okay? In my experience, there is a difference, which is the reason why my doctor sent me. He told me he wanted me, you have to see an endocrinologist because we want to keep this under control. And that way, me and your endocrinologist can kind of work together on this. So, where I have heard so many stories of people I know tell me that they can have this amount of carbs a day. Well, the amount of carbs that they're being told that they could have a day is like the same amount of carbs that I was told to have per meal, literally. So basically, the amount of carbs that you take in when you have diabetes, it is designed for you. Everybody, as someone explained it to me, is a puzzle piece when it comes to diabetes. No two people are just alike. So I won't even give the amount of carbs that I was given because you might try it for your diet and that might not be what you need. But one thing I know is that I was told how many I should have per meal. That is very important because that per day thing can get really sticky, because if you have all of your carbs, say with breakfast, well, then you're trying to get through the rest of the day without adding any carbs because you've eaten your allowed amount for breakfast. That's tough, and the amount that I hear people are being told is really, it's really small, okay, for a day in my book. So I would say if this is what you're being told per day, you might want to get that broken down, customized for you. You might want to see an endocrinologist. I don't know. I am not telling you to go do it. I'm telling you to make the choice for yourself. What I'm giving you is my experience, okay? So don't go tell nobody, well, she said, she ain't said nothing, all right? So it's up to you. So the next thing, lots of water. Water, and more water. Water is like my best friend. I drink so much water, you guys. And some people are like, I don't like water. Learn to like it. I don't care how you have to do it. If you have to put flavoring in it, if you have to put a bunch of ice in it, whatever, water. And I'm talking about clear water, you guys. We have all heard, oh, well, if you do like coffee or tea or things like that, that count as water too. I think that count as hydration, but not the type of hydration that our bodies really need. I mean, that clean water is what we really need. So I drink lots of water. I mean, figure out a way to do it, whether you can drink it better with the straw or without the straw. It's up to you. Everybody's different. So do it for you. Not only lots of water, you guys, but my weight loss also came with exercise. All right. And lots of it. I can tell you there are a lot of people who is diagnosed, who's given like how long they should exercise a day, some an hour, some 30 minutes or whatever. I was told cardio and strength and conditioning, period. Cardio and strength and conditioning. I wasn't necessarily given a time. So what I did is I found a girl on YouTube and I enjoy her workouts. And I'm telling you, it has changed my life. And me and my family physician was talking about this, and he asked me, he said, are you still working out? I said, all the time. He said, do you enjoy your workouts? I said, yes, I do. They're fun. It's cardio, it's strength and conditioning. I love it. I work out from home. I don't go to a gym. That's not my cup of tea. Some people like gyms. I don't. So I work out from home. And he said that is very important because some people are going out here and exercising and they don't enjoy it. It's really hard to lose weight that day that way, because it's almost like a stress, a stressing point inside the body when you're doing something that you're not thoroughly enjoying doing. So if whatever workout you like, if you like to walk, if you like to go to the gym and do your weights or do whatever it is you like to do, I like cardio. I love upbeat, workouts. I don't like the floor, okay? And I don't like a lot of jumping, you know. But, there is some mixed in and I'm okay with that, but I enjoy it. And you can see who I work out with right over here. Because I have put her page up there and I will also put it in the description. Her name is Grow with a Joe and she is absolutely amazing. So that's who I work out with and enjoy. So that has helped me boost my weight loss a lot. And you guys, I feel so good. I feel much stronger. I'm just loving it. Now, let me tell you, your girl love her some lattes, all right? So I'm telling you guys, I used to go to Starbucks all the time, get that white chocolate mocha. I would get me some banana nut bread. Oh my gosh, so, so good. Sometimes I would get a hazelnut latte. Sometimes it might be a caramel latte or a caramel macchiato or just whatever, vanilla latte. You guys, I loved Starbucks. I had no clue how much sugar I was intaking, not only to mention how much money I was really spending, all right? That's a lot of money, okay? And I was getting the shortest one. So I said I didn't really drink coffee or lattes really like since June up until maybe like about 3 months ago or something like that because I couldn't figure out a way to enjoy it. The coffee creamers that I had at home, they had sugar in it and it was a little sugar. My endocrinologist even told me that it was okay. But you guys, once you've had certain experience, especially near-death experience in your life, there are just some things, even though you're told it's okay, some things that your mind just won't rest with. So I just said, you know what, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to put that type of sugar, in right now in that way, because I know if I start, it's going to be an everyday thing. So a friend of mine told me about these sugar-free syrups, coffee syrups, or whatever you want it for. So you can see it. It was Tarani. And I said, I used to see those, but I guess I just didn't realize that it said sugar-free. And then I was kind of leery of some sugar-free things because I do not like stevia, you guys. I just can't. Okay. There are probably a couple of things that have stevia in it that I can tolerate in my life, but I am not a stevia person at all. So I'm okay with like sucralose. And so was my endocrinologist. She told me that she's completely okay with sucralose and stevia. And, but anything else like sugar alcohols, things like that has been, so processed in certain ways, she's not okay with that because of the negative effects that it does have after a while. And to be honest with you, sucralose, I have heard that it could have, certain effects, but for me, for certain people, it doesn't bother at all. And for me, just haven't bothered me. So, yeah, I've been on these syrups, you guys. I look like a little barista at home. I have so many flavors of this Tarani coffee syrup. Some of you told me to try the Jordan's syrup, and I was like, no, because the Jordans that I had found at one point had stevia. And I was like, I already know. And then I read some reviews of those particular syrups, and people were like, I just can't deal with the aftertaste. So I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not trying it. So I was gifted some Jordan syrups for Christmas from my sister. You guys, they were sweetened with sucralose. So I said, let me go ahead and try it then. I probably can do this. You guys, I like it. I like it a lot. So I guess it just depends on which ones you get. So back to me reading bottles. I read everything. So I'm using all these different syrups to sweeten my lattes, my coffees, my tea when I drink it, because I have to be careful of that now, and I'll tell you why. And even, you guys, I have been making my own soda or pop, whichever you want to call it. I've just been taking like some carbonated water, adding my sugar-free syrup to it, giving it a good stir, putting some fruit in there if you want to, or I'll buy some flavored water that's already flavored, have 0 calories, 0 sugar, all of that, and I will sweeten it with my syrup, something that'll blend with it really, really good. So I'm making my own pop. And so now I'm looking at making my own ice cream, okay? I'm looking at getting me and my husband looking at getting like a little homemade ice cream machine, one that looking at the Ninja Creamy. If any of you guys have that, let me know how you like it. But I am planning on doing that like with coconut milk and my sugar-free syrup and adding fruit to it and making me some ice cream. Okay, so there are ways to enjoy. I mean, I am on this lifestyle diet and I am finding ways to enjoy it. So what you do is you find the things that you used to love and you find a different way and a better way to cook it. I used to love me some fried chicken, y'all. Now, guess what? I love me some air fried chicken, y'all. Or you can oven fry it, or sometimes I'll take my good oil, which is my avocado oil, and I will flash fry it. Very little oil, turning it over. If not the avocado oil, grapeseed oil, because those two oils can take a very high heat. But I don't do deep fried anything, and most of my fried food is in the air fryer. So pretty much not fried but fried. Okay, so there are ways to enjoy it. You just have to find the way to do it. I also use those sugar-free syrups, you guys, for sweetening my oatmeal, my malto meal, any of my breakfast cereals, or anything that I want to sweeten, pretty much, that can go good with the syrup. I have not used the syrups like, say, like on pancakes, but what I have used on my pancakes is agave, because agave have like a low glycemic level, and then also date syrup. Which I now have to be careful with. You'll know in a moment. But date syrup is very good. It's made out of dates, and it's very, very good on pancakes also. Whole grain and whole wheat bread. This is what I do. It's better for me. I do enjoy me some Subway every now and then. Anytime I eat bread, I always eat my wheat bread, okay? Have I had any white bread? Yes, I have. But I can count on one hand how many times. Sometimes, like, say, like with my spaghetti or something like that, I'll have some French bread or something like that, but I will very much limit how much. The same with like pasta. My pasta is not always wheat, so I have to kind of eye it and limit how much of it I'm going to eat, and make sure that I have enough protein and enough of my non-starchy vegetables with it to balance everything out. It's all about balance, you guys. It's a balancing game. I had to learn trade-offs if I wanted dessert, okay? I was told, for instance, like, if you're at a family gathering, or I'll take this like for everyday life, if there's cake and I know I want a slice, or if there's cookies and I know that I'm gonna want one or two, depending on how big they are, I'm talking about real desserts, okay? We're talking about with the sugar. Then if there's bread with the dinner, I won't eat the bread so that I can eat a little bit of the dessert. And I'm not talking about going overboard with the dessert, but I'm talking about enjoying me, a decent size, sliver of cake, or a little bit of pie, or a cookie or two. I forfeit the bread so that I can have the dessert, if you know what I mean. So the same, say, like if you're at a luncheon or something, there's pasta, there's bread and things like that, and then there's other things. I might not have the pasta nor the bread because I want to enjoy the dessert that's there. So, Yeah, you just have to kind of trade off, know the amount of carbs you can have. And I'm talking about complex carbs because those things with added sugar is simple carbs and they get in your bloodstream so very fast. And that they spike your blood sugar really, really quick if you are diabetic. So you have to be careful of that. Also, things like fruits, certain fruits, some people will say stay away from them, or really, really watch it. Everybody is different. Apples and bananas are like two of the biggest things. Oh, be careful of the apples, be careful of the bananas. You guys, I'm serious. You have to talk to somebody. And my go to person is my endocrinologist nurse, okay? Because I don't always see my endocrinologist, but I can call her nurse at any given time, okay? And what we talked about is if you're gonna have an apple, have some protein with it. If you're gonna have a banana, especially if it's on the riper side, make sure you have some protein with it. So I love me some apples and peanut butter. I have that with it to help balance it out. And what that does is slows down the process of maybe a lot of that natural sugar from that apple just jumping into your bloodstream. So it just kind of helps to balance and slow down the process when you have it with protein. This is what I have been taught. This is what works for me. Okay. The way that I knew that it was working for me is because I would eat it and then I would check my blood sugar 2 hours later. So some things are by trial and error. If you're not sure, try eating it and then check your blood sugar 2 hours later to see how your body is doing with it. If it's a little high, that might not be the thing for you. But if it's pretty steady, you're okay pretty much with doing that. And you might want to check it, a couple of times, whatever's comfortable for you. Check it in an hour, check it in 2 hours, and just kind of get used to your new way of eating. So with that being said, there are now some things that I have to watch even more so because I just recently, a few weeks ago, had a uteroscopy done, and that is having a couple of kidney stones removed. And those kidney stones turned out to be calcium oxalate kidney stones, and that is usually caused by too many oxalates being taken in by the body. So oxalates, unfortunately, are found in a lot of plants that we eat. A lot of things that, we see is good for us. A lot of things that is really, really good for me as a diabetic, but not so great for me, as a person who has had kidney stones. We're trying to prevent having another one. So there are ways that I am looking at and really studying and trying and seeing about limiting things, limiting some foods, but eating those things in moderation, because at the end of the day, for me, I really have to more so watch the diabetic side, because that's the thing that could lead to things that could take me out of here. Okay. I never want another kidney stone. The recovery from that surgery was not fun. But we're going to try to prevent it, from happening again at all costs. Therefore, have to watch, my animal proteins. I have to watch my sodium, which I do anyway. And then I have to watch I have to drink lots of water, which is what I was doing anyway. So all of those things, it's just these bodies, they're something else. So that is kind of like the battle that I'm in right now. However, just like I got used to eating in my new lifestyle as being diabetic, you guys, the same thing is going to happen with this. I do not let food stress me out, but at the same time, I'm not going to let food take me out of here either. So you can always find a way to do it and to do it better. So you guys requested it. There it is. All right. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope that this can not only bless you, but bless someone else. Feel free to share this video, with your family, with your friends, and just know you can do it. You can do it. Just change up here and make a commitment to yourself. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for your pet. Find somebody to do it for, okay? And get it done. Just be consistent, and it becomes a habit. And eventually, when your body get used to not having all that sugar and stuff, a lot of times if I eat just something with a lot of sugar in it, my body kicks it back out because it's not used to it anymore. And I'm totally fine with that. So thank you guys for watching, for listening. I know this has been lengthy, but it's what you guys asked. I wanted to give you as much information as possible. So I will see you in the next video. Take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.